What's up, everybody? So yesterday while I was at work, the Tekken 8 trailer dropped, so I'm just in the break room freaking out. You know, I can. Why didn't this happen at Evo? Like everyone's asking it. I don't think I've seen a reaction. Like people have their reactions up an hour later. Like why wasn't this at Evo? I had the day off. Like after Evo, like I probably could have started making something the day of when I got home and then had it up like the next day. But that is neither here nor there. Uh, so Tekken 8 dropped, and I think we've all seen the trailer. We all saw this symbol. Those of us who are true to Tekken knew what that meant. Almost couldn't believe it. There are still people who think that's a 6 because this symbol came up a lot in Tekken 6. But no, it is a G. That is G Corporation. This don't even look like Tekken no more. Like what we'd expect from Tekken. Jeez, the water going down his face. The Namco symbol. Full screen this. Why is it not full screen? Look at this. And you know, because this is a story fight, obviously, like, you know, they have the HUD removed, but most of this is in game. Like this is in engine at least, and a lot of this is actually how the fighting is gonna look. But it's just like, for the time being, it's hard to deviate what's story cutscene because like that looks like cutscene. But it's not a CGI trailer because Tekken 7 did the same thing. The entire story mode is just in-game assets and in-game stuff happening, and that's why it transitions so easily. And that's the best thing about Tekken 7's story mode. Just like you go from like what looks like a cutscene, and then the game will just yell at you, fight, and there's a fireball or Alyssa's charging at you or something, and you're like, hey, wait a second, it keeps you on your toes. I hope they do a better job with the story pacing because some of the story beats in Tekken 7 were awful. But yeah. Look at that, man. It's the chain breaking. So like let's look at this. What are we thinking? You know. Heihachi wanted to kill you to get rid of you. You wanted to kill Heihachi to take what he has. I want to kill us both. That's what Jin is saying. But there will be no devil. Like if I kill you first and like my gene is gone and it turns off, that's fantastic. But if it don't, I will make sure there's no more devils in this world. Kick him in the head. Kick him in the head again. Always preferred Jin over Kazuya. 100%. I was born in '93. For my first Tekken was Tekken 3. Always preferred Jin. So as you can see with that there, whatever you want to call it, the corkscrew, the tailspin, the juggle extension, that is better than bound, but still I think they should get rid of, is back. I think there should be no juggle extension. I think juggle should be short, succinct, do more damage. But that's just me. I feel like characters who do less damage with like poking and stuff should just have longer juggles to compensate. Meanwhile, characters like Paul, like King and stuff should only hit you like 2-3 times in the air. King doesn't need to do a full juggle and then grab you in the air. That's my opinion. Uh, Also, because it was at the state of play, the trailer only says like PS5, but there's a version of this trailer that's actually on Namco's website. It says PC and Xbox. So for anyone like, I doubt I'm the first Tekken 8 coverage video you've seen, but if I'm the first one to let you know, yes, there's a PC version. There is a PC version. So yeah, and everyone's noticing when they actually like start to go at it, they knock each other back way heavier. I kind of hope that's the case. I kind of hope that's universal because depending on what characters are in the game, there's a lot of characters who will like hit you and then their turn is over. Meanwhile, there are other characters who just never give it up because they're just spamming generics. I hope a lot of those characters aren't even in the game, but like that's neither here nor there. But yeah, heavy knockback. Like if you actually pay attention, their block stun animations are like them changing stances and stuff. Look at Jin. Like, look, watch. He goes all karate afterwards. It's like, can he go into mental alertness off of block stun? I know that might sound crazy, or like people who play Jin might be like, that would be overpowered. Would it? Like, think outside the box. That would be cool as hell. Like, obviously he can't because he didn't do anything. He's recovering, and then he came up to do that. But wouldn't that be cool? Imagine going into block stun and it's like a stance. It'd be unique. It'd be something you've never seen in a fighting game before. But yeah, like that new mechanic that's out right now, the one that makes you bounce up against the wall, they probably bounce into the wall off of moves like that. Think about that, because like, it's knocking them back the same way Eddie's like, 1-2-4 will throw you away from him, or Kazuya's wall standing 1+2 will throw you away. So maybe now like everyone can do it on block or on hit. That no longer has armor, or at least not visually. Whack. So that's just a regular combo. Okay, this is gonna go into what people think are his rage arts. So like, when does he dodge his attack? Kick. Kick. There, that right there. Now see, a lot of people are talking about this, like what's going on here. People are noticing the visuals, like he's literally knocking the rain around. And that's all very pretty, and that's all very cool to look at. The new costume, he's got the tassels on him. Like, yeah, no, that's all beautiful. What does this mean, though? Look, he dodged, he backdashed. Solid, capable backdash. And the result is he gets a punish. Like, I might be overthinking it. This might just be a fine-tooth comb that people don't need, but my theory for this is there's some sort of mechanic around perfect backdashing. Like, you ever heard, like, you guys remember perfect blocking, just defend. And, like, if you block at the perfect time in, like, SNK games, like, you get a benefit to it. You're supposed to get a benefit to it in Guilty Gear, but you can perfect block, just defend, whatever it's called in Guilty Gear Strive, and still be negative 100. So like I don't even count that in Guilty Gear, but it's a mechanic. It's there. What if you backdash at the right time in this game and it actually rewards you somehow? Like it counts as something. I don't think it's gonna give you a camera zoom in and a freaking slow motion effect every time. That's gonna make the pacing feel weird. Like, it's possible, like, if you play Bayonetta or, like, certain other games, there are games where it slows down because you did something right. That's not impossible to play around. That's not impossible to implement. Like, like if you know how games work, the game the whole time knows Kazuya's position on the map. It knows how many frames, like, if all the parameters are met, you just tell the game to do something and it does it. So, like, insert proper backdash, free punish. Like, I think that would be cool. Like, what if it does that for a perfect sidestep? Like, you get a perfect sidestep, and, like, now, like, the game slows down. Maybe it doesn't even need to slow down, because, like, a lot of people are, like, claiming slowdown and slow-mo messed up their pacing, messed up. I don't know if that's all true. I think you guys were kind of just, complaining about modernity. Like, don't get me wrong, fighting games are throwing slow motion in a lot of places just for that esports visualization, but whether you like it or not, it worked. Guilty Gear is doing well. Street Fighter 6 looks pretty great. Tekken 7 did pretty freaking great. So, you have the right to your opinion, but reality will circumvent it. But yeah, that's my honest theory. Again, the game probably doesn't slow down and zoom in every time you do it perfectly, but there's probably something for like a perfect backdash. Like there's probably like a point of invulnerability, like a 2D fighting game. 2D fighting games have that. But there's like it's just a certain point where when you're backdashing, not only are you like making your character further away, you can't be hit. That's just my theory. And then you get a punish for it if they catch you during that small point. Like, there's the crush system in Tekken. They demonstrate the crush system here. Wait, where was it? Here. Jumping over a low. Like, you could apply that logic to, like, just distancing. Like, I'm in a state where insert move range or depth just can't hit me. And then I get a punish for it. Jeez, this looks legit. Kick him again. Oh man. I always thought that move looked so cool. It's kind of crappy that it was like a crappy power crush. Like it didn't work very well. Like you got hit while doing it, and then you could start blocking. It was one of those types of power crushes. The slight costume changes were warranted. I think they look better this way. Even Kazuya, he's got the same pants, but there's like a dragon pattern on it that like matches his birthmark. Taming the Devil Gene. All of a sudden, again, my theory that Jin and Devil Jin should just be the same character. We should cut Devil Jin entirely. You know, all of a sudden that theory like warrants a little more backing. All of a sudden, like the people who hate me for saying that in my top 5 remove video aren't going to see this, but all of a sudden that doesn't sound like too far fetched. That's all I got to say on the matter. But yeah, this looks good. I think I've dragged on long enough. My thoughts are I'm hype. I can't wait. Uh, Kenny on Video Game over on Unruly, his channel, he mentioned like now this is where the sadness comes in because now we gotta wait. We gotta watch like who's gonna be in it, who's not gonna be in it. That's a topic for another day because the time release was the worst aspect of Tekken 7. Still to this day, in my opinion, after all these weird things happened to it, all these weird season changes and like certain characters just coming out, like nah, the timed release was the worst point for Tekken 7. The waiting was the hardest part. That game was announced in 2014. You couldn't play it at home until 2017. That sucked. You had to watch as it was available for other people to play a year later, and all the characters looked exactly how they looked in Tag 2. Their rage arts were all just moves they already had put into a sequence, or they were stolen from the super moves from Soul Calibur 4. Soul Calibur 6. No, 5. It was 5 at the time. Oh my god, that was years ago. But yeah, that's how much time Tekken spanned. And it's just like, oh man, like just watching characters I don't like be announced first is really annoying. That's hard. That's tough to deal with. Because at one point Tekken didn't have any characters I don't like. Then they only started adding characters I don't like in terms of like this game's history. But again, that's neither here nor there. That we just gotta wait and see. I really hope this game doesn't take 3 years from this announcement to be playable. Street Fighter is going to be playable next year. I'm not saying this has to be playable next year, but I am saying like I'm not wait don't make me wait till 2025, 2026. Don't let Maximilian Dude be right. I don't even think he said that far out, but like don't do that. Don't do that to us. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Tekken 8. I cannot wait. I'm glad Jin is in the forefront of the story again. Oh, and just side note, Heihachi's still gonna be playable. Like, I'm throwing that out there right now. Heihachi's dead, but he's still gonna be playable. Anyway, see ya.
That's my opinion. Also,